What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, you are watching TWA Motorsports, and today I have got the Tahoe back from detail, and guys, it looks great. I'm going to show it to you here in just one second. So I had a buddy of mine, Mason, who absolutely crushed it, killed it. I didn't tell him what I wanted him to do. I just told him, hey, I wanted it cleaned up, and he buffed it, and he cleaned all the interior, and it looks completely different, I will tell you that. But let's take a look at it, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys some of the parts. I've got a lot of stuff here, but I'm going to show you what I've gotten, and I'm going to talk about what is the next step on this Tahoe, which seems to be pretty popular right now, to be honest with you guys. But check this thing out. Like I said, my buddy Mason killed it. Guys, if you're in the Springfield area, this guy is top notch. He just does an incredible job. Guys, this thing is shining more than it probably ever has. He even shined up my dents on the hood. It's got some hail dings in it, I've noticed. He cleaned up the top, so now we don't have that nasty junk that looks like it's been sitting under a tree. He didn't go like real aggressive with compound. I think he was kind of nervous. That whole side you guys saw in the last video had been painted on. I was a little nervous, honestly, when he told me he buffed it. I thought, well, is there any paint left? But man, he knows what he's doing. Believe me, he knows what he's doing. But I want to show you the inside of it too, because he really crushed it on the inside. Guys, if you remember, now it's tan interior, so it's hard to get all the stains and whatnot out, but he got a majority of my stains out. Floor looks great. He even cleaned these nasty mats that I'll probably eventually throw away. All the glass is clean. He cleaned the seats, even though, I mean, obviously, guys, we're going to have to do something there. All the door jambs are nice and clean. Obviously, they were disgusting as well. But look how nice this thing looks on the inside. It's just absolutely incredible. The shine on it is incredible. Oh, this is what I heard rolling around, actually. He must have found the jack. I tell you, cleaned up the carpets really well. Guys, I'm impressed. Let's open that up. Look how clean. Look how clean the floors are. Oh, it just looks so nice. I'm actually not even going to be driving it the next couple days. It's supposed to be raining. He did tell me, he's like, somebody painted on these seats and you could see where the paint is coming off. Like this is a kind of a cheap way of trying to fix something. You can see how the color is starting to come off, but I think I've got a plan for these seats. He did make a comment. He's like, look, I got as many of the stains out as I could. It's tan. Guys, I totally get that. But anyway, wanted to say a shout out to Mason. Thank you so much for cleaning this thing up. I just don't have time to do all this, guys. It would have taken me a month to get it this clean, and yeah, it would have taken me too long. But anyway, I want to show you some other stuff that we've got, because guys, there's more plans on this Tahoe, one of which is obviously fixing those seats, because I'm not going to live with that, especially that cracked one on the driver's side. I think I found an option for that, which we will go over later. But first, let me see. I'm gonna have to open these boxes here real quick. I've got a couple things already. So we're obviously gonna lower this thing. So the first thing I bought was, I bought new inner and outer tie rod ends from Moog. I also bought the, I believe, 2-degree offset upper ball joints and A-arms. So that's what's in those boxes there. These two boxes are obviously the A-arms. These two are the inners. The top ones are the outers. So we're going to be doing, we're not going to go all in, like replace every single suspension part. Like I said in the last video, I had my alignment guy at work put it up on the rack. He said it needed an inner, and I thought we'll just hit both sides. But everything else looked good. Like the steering box looked good, Pitman arm, idler arm. You guys know that how I feel about steering boxes. I'm not a huge fan of them, but it's not leaking. Seems to be working okay. So we're going to live with that. But aside from those parts right there, I also have down here the lowering springs for the back. So those two gray springs that you see right there, no, not the coilovers, the gray springs that you see right there, those are going to be the lowering springs for the back. And I'll list a little more of this stuff in detail when we go to actually lower the thing. Okay, so I'm still waiting on this elusive package that was supposedly delivered, and it shows to be delivered yesterday, and that is for the rear suspension. It's the relocation stuff. And when I say that, when you lower these things, they have a lower control arm in the back, similar to an F body actually, because they have a panhard rod. But in order, when you lower these things, you need to get those relocated. Otherwise, the pinion angle is all weird. And so I ordered those from a new manufacturer I've never used before. It's actually an eBay company. I usually use DJM on this, but they were out of stock and I didn't want to wait. Well, here I am waiting again. But let me get this laid out and I will show you guys the other parts that I've got in these boxes right here. That's the other portion of the lowering kit. Okay, I got the boxes open over there, but before I go over there, there's one other piece that I forgot to tell you about on the shelf here. These torsion keys are the ones out of the dually. And remember I said the 3/4 ton, because that was a 3/4 ton truck. It wasn't actually a 1 ton. We made it to look like a dually, but the 3/4 ton keys in a 1/2 ton vehicle, like the Tahoe here, will actually lower it. So what we're gonna do is we'll take those torsion keys out of this and we'll put them up beside each other when we actually do the drop video, and I will show you what I'm talking about as far as not buying lowering keys. Now, if they don't work, I will order some lowering keys. Probably should have anyway because those are kind of rusty, but look guys, this thing is not going to be perfect. Just wanted it to look cool and be a cool little daily driver. But anyway, so here's the stuff that I got, the other stuff. I got new shocks, front and rear, okay? The shocks on this thing are completely trashed. The one on the right side, passenger side, front, there's no fluid in, and you can hear it bouncing around when you're going down the road. Other stuff that I got, obviously I like the Beltuck Street Performance shocks. It's what I use on my green truck. It's what I use on about all of these cars that I put together when it comes to like a decent lowering shock. In my opinion, it's the best you can get for the money. Now, are there better ones out there? Yeah, but I'm talking like for the money. Okay, next, I decided to go with McGoy's spindles. These are drop spindles, 2-inch drop spindles for the front, and that will take care of getting the front 2 inches lower, and I'm thinking I can maybe get another additional 1.5 inches, maybe to 1 inch out of the torsion keys that I was just talking about. Next, I got a bump stop kit. That, I don't know what's this, the front one or the rear one. I ordered 2 different ones. Yeah. And like I said, I'll list more of this in the description of the video when I actually do the drop. I'm thinking, since I'm daily driving this thing, I'm gonna break it up and do the back first and then the front, or vice versa. And then the last thing that I got is the shock extensions. Guys, I get asked this all the time, whether I'm lowering a truck, a Tahoe, Yukon, whatever. Do you really need relocation brackets for the shocks instead of like a lowering shock? You need both, okay? And here's why. When you lower these things, yes, you need a shorter shock. That's pretty obvious. You're getting it closer to the ground. There's less shock, okay? The compression goes down. So the shock gets closer together, both ends of it. And so you don't have as much movement. That's not the only problem you have. Yes, you need a shorter shock because they're closer together. Obviously, hopefully that makes sense to you. But the other thing it changes is the geometry of the shock. Okay, that shock was meant to operate in the manner that it's on the vehicle right now. So when you go getting them closer together, that angle changes, okay? That geometry changes. And so in order to get the best ride possible out of one of these, is it gonna ride like stock? No, it's not gonna ride like stock. But in order to get the best ride possible and the closest to stock, you have to get that geometry correct. And that is what that helps address. Okay, do you have to have them? No, I don't guess you do, but there's a reason that they make those, guys, and it's not to get away with using your stock shock. Yes, it does move it down, okay, to help compensate for some of that drop, but it also changes the angle. So just want to clear that up because I get asked that so many times. I know a lot of times people want to cheap out on doing drops, or they want to heat springs or cut springs, and we've cut some springs in the past. Actually, the Trans Am's on cut springs. Nothing wrong with that in certain applications, but for this, don't cheap out. I think they're like $60 for a set of relocation brackets for your shocks, guys. Get that as well as a lowering shock. But I think that covers everything we're going to be doing. I was so excited to come out here and show you guys this thing all cleaned up. Like I said, I actually just got back with this a little bit ago from him detailing it. The other thing I will tell you is the wheels actually look pretty good now that they're cleaned up, but I have another set of wheels, and the main reason why is, well, there's 2 reasons. One, I wanted a set of 20s or 22s to put on this thing. I actually have another set of wheels that you will be seeing in the next video, hopefully, on this. I don't know how soon we're gonna get to the lowering stuff. Like I said, I'm still waiting on that back piece, but these tires are also shot. And I think I mentioned that in a couple videos back. They're like scary shot. you know, they're dry rotting. You can almost see the air in one of them on the other side. And so I don't want to put new tires on these because I don't love these wheels anyway, but they should bring a little bit of extra money. And I think you guys will like the wheel that I picked out for this thing. I didn't buy them new. I've been trying to buy, the lowering stuff is all that I've bought new. I mean, as far as stuff for this, obviously we're going to do a few other things that I'm going to have to buy new, but for the most part, I'm trying to do this on a budget and keep this whole deal under like $5,000. That includes the price of the Yukon. Now, I'm going to cheat a little bit and you'll see what I'm talking about down the road, but yeah, look, it's looking good. So hopefully you guys enjoy this little update video on this thing, looking as good as it's probably ever going to look. I don't think it can possibly get any better unless we fix some of the dings and whatnot. But if you did enjoy this video, please, like always, go down there and smash that thumbs up button. Guys, if you are not subscribed, go down, hit the subscribe button. Of course, like always, ring that bell notification. That will notify you every single time we drop a new video on this or anything else. Stay tuned to see what we do this thing next.